Scratch that, I'll get some beers and get chuggy. Nah, man, I know what I need, some old man huggy. Old man huggy. Some old man huggy. Put your headphones on for proper audio quality, motherfucker.
Here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
My shit was muted. Angry Black Quarterback, episode 37. Not with y'all, but on the stream. Not for very long, but 37. Cowboys versus Eagles, part 2. Elwood's having technical difficulties. I'm wearing my O.J. Simpson shirt. 2.0. How are you, sir?
Dude, I'm fantastic. You know, Broncos lost this week, but
Yeah,
I don't think it's because we got outplayed. I don't know. Well, we can get into it more later, but still optimistic. We still got a fighting chance for the playoffs, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest disappointment has to be the Chargers. They beat the Patriots, 6-0 or something?
Yeah.
The Chargers
Talk
are
about
bad.
the most boring game ever.
Do they all keep their jobs? I think Kellen Moore keeps his.
Mm-hmm.
But the offense is their problem. And then Quentin Johnston, their first round pick receiver from TCU, 160 yards on the season right now. And he was the first receiver taken in the draft.
Wow.
That is bad. And he had a really bad drop. But I mean, I said I didn't think they were going to make the playoffs. Said it last year. Said it this year. It took 2 years, but it came true.
Hey, you just got to keep saying it. Eventually, it'll come true.
No, they're just they got like fraud in them. When I watch him play, I'm not sold. Like, I feel bad for Keenan Allen. He's a badass. He should get the fuck out of there. I mean, I don't think Austin Eckler's that great. He's like a fantasy boner. Other than that, I'm like, he's not like that fantastic. Because what have they actually done? Jack shit. Derwin James is finally healthy, and this team's the worst it's been. They could have used him last year or the year before when he's getting hurt all the time. Great safety, availability is valuability, so he's barely able to play.
Yeah, I don't know what the issue out there is because they have talent at the skill players.
Oh, Elwood.
Maybe it's their front seven.
It's weird. I had my headphone in, but it was coming to the phone, but it was showing full connection.
Your hair's getting a
And then
little
I just,
long
like-
there, dude. You got a little bit of a coif to it. A little bit of a part
Yeah.
there.
See my headphones there?
It's looking good.
Shit.
You got this like Lego hairdo. Feel your haircut today. It's kind of awesome. Looks like it doesn't move.
Best product out there.
Like it just clips down and just sits.
hair product's called Night Rider.
Knight Rider. Never heard of it. Is it good? But it's expensive.
I bought it. Well, I have such thick hair, so most hair products do not work on my hair. Like
Oh,
it'll just like fall down. Or what looks good when I do it, and then I come home and I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I had a hairdresser in Austin that recommended it to me and said, yeah, my customer loves this shit and will ride his motorcycle and swear that his hair won't move. And I was like, that's what I need.
that's dramatic. That's some thick hair. Well, welcome back, sir. How are you? How are you feeling?
Good, good.
You got your
So
tree lit up.
I'll tell another random story. Why I have new headphones is went to go look for my AirPods, and me and Karina took a trip to Austin to go see her ex stepdad, and my AirPods are somewhere outside of Waco apparently. Fell out of the old car door at the check stop.
Damn.
Yeah. So, but I was gonna get new AirPods like I've had, but then I read so many good things on these Sonys, so we're rocking the Sonys.
Well, I got lucky, so we had our company Christmas party. Shout out to the great mystery company I work for. They threw a great party. We did a raffle, and I was calling the raffle. So, like, this one girl, she won a PS5, and she dropped it. She was like, yeah, and then she dropped it. That's every guy's face was like, what are you doing? Like, oh my god, I hate you. I won.
Yeah.
I won a pair of Beat Studio Pros, some $300 wireless Beats headphones that were super nice. But it was funny because I'm the one calling the numbers. So there's tons of people,
Honestly,
and I'm like, and I call. I have it's one of my numbers. I'm like, oh shit,
have you opened it yet?
hell yeah.
Oh, damn.
Why?
I was gonna. Oh, sorry, just lost. Got the update. I was gonna say you should have returned them or got like store credit somewhere and got better headphones for a less price.
Yeah, I mean they're nice. They're like full wraps. I like. I mean, I have my own headphones I already really like. So, but for stuff like this, I mean, I have these headphones.
Yeah, it's free.
That's free headphones. So if I want to listen to like a podcast, while I'm doing stuff, whatever. Like it's free $300 headphones. I just opened them up to charge them, check them out. Like they haven't been like really used, but I mean the cable's not even unsnapped, but they're nice. They're like all black. So I was like, hell yeah, I'll take these.
No.
And they're actually better than I remember Beats being because they actually get a little bit loud. But that was tight. Well, I'm glad your hair is standing still, not moving with your motorcycle hairdo. See, you got your tree lit up in the background, feeling festive.
Oh, not only do I have it lit up, cowboy colors,
Oh,
baby.
it's very
Oh
obvious.
yeah.
I mean, that's weird. You know, enjoy.
Yes,
Or
girl.
would you be one of those weird
It's
people
just-
that sets up one of those like Cowboys caves? Of course, there's a star and a star. It's Starception.
We got a cowboy.
But this
helmet
is
there.
why a lot of people like when the Cowboys lose because you have like
Got Troy Aikman repping. Look at it throwing the ball. Also, dude, look who I found, dude. He's real. He lives, dude. It's Sasquatch.
stupid ass Cowboys tree. I mean, I guess that's not.
I'll be mad because you
too
don't
bad.
have any Eagles ornaments.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't. I'm not into Christmas, so I wouldn't put up any ornaments to begin with. I'd be like, nah.
And I can
screw it.
change those colors whenever I want.
I know it's
Decided to do cowboy.
It's the future. That's how it works now.
You'll get into Christmas once you have kids.
There was somebody who lived on my street when I was a kid who put up Christmas lights, and they were just blue, solid blue. And it wasn't like cowboy blue or anything. I don't know what color, but their whole house, the entire house in their front yard was just one solid color of blue. It was the weirdest fucking thing ever. And it was so obnoxious and so bright. I mean, every inch of their house was covered in these big ass bright blue lights. And they were like
I'm digging it.
covered. They were like not like, you know, clear, so they like shined like yours are. They were like almost like this like bright they're like opaque. It was like this weird. They were fucking weird, man. It's weird as shit.
He was just wanting a blue Christmas, dude.
Yeah.
Bump, bump,
They're dicks. Everybody hated them. Everybody hated him. They were like, "Fuck this guy, dude. This bright as shit."
Fuck this dude.
And this,
We don't like the blue guy.
I mean, luckily he was down the
We
street.
know. You grew up with a bunch of racists. Fuck the blue guy.
Yeah, dude. Blue dabba dee dabba die.
Conform, bro. You need to be red, green.
This is the burbs. You better move to the city or something. Better get the fuck out of here with your blue light bulb ass before you get these hands.
Football.
Yeah.
Eagles lost.
Oh my God, we've lost 2 games. I'm not that.
Oh, about 3-3. About the big 3. I told y'all not to bet against the Cowboys too on Thursday. I told you. I'm glad.
Against
Mr.
what?
Johnny
Wait,
lost $10.
against who? The Seahawks. Seahawks lost that game more than y'all won it. There's so many.
Here
No,
we
hold
go.
on. There was
The first time the Cowboys had a game like the Eagles have had every game this season.
no. Well,
Yeah. Coming down to the end and being in
there was at least
every game.
No, hold
for the
on.
Eagles.
There was a period of time where you couldn't stop the Seahawks on offense, but there was like at least 3 or 4 drop passes towards the end of the game that were like devastating. Like there was one where it smacked Lockett right in the helmet. And I think that was a third and like 12. There were some rough plays. I mean, the Cowboys made plays, but it wasn't like I was ooh. The defense didn't play as great as you would like to see against that playing up against. I mean, Bland got completely exposed. He had an interception, which was basically inconsequential because then it was a 3-and-out right after that interception. So he got a pick, and then they got sacked back. The offense. I mean, CeeDee Lamb is obviously legit. Running game looked all right. Like, definitely Pollard's looked better than he's looked all year. But the defense, especially the secondary, did not look anywhere near where you'd want them to look.
Speaking of the secondary's not looking good.
Hey, no.
Eagles are sus.
Nah, our fucking tackling. Our tackling was so bad. So bad. That game was 7-6 for, like, essentially almost 3 quarters. And then it ended up getting all out of control. But there was long plays where there was shitty tackling. And, I mean, it's not... I know we all can say this about all the games. But if you watch that last Debo touchdown, there's a picture where it's Kittle, and he's literally grabbing one guy's jersey and grabbing the other guy's jersey, and he's holding them both like this. No, I mean, but it's a blatant hold. Like, it's... But the Eagles... The Eagles...
Been happier. Not that y'all lost, but that the Niners whooped y'all like they whooped us.
No, we put up...
because
we put up more points than y'all did. So we actually cracked the 20 mark. So at least we put up 20.
Points.
At least we put up 20. I think we gave up less points. 21, 20.
Y'all didn't put up 20?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did.
No, dude. Look that.
Oh, sorry,
up,
19 to 42. 19 to 42. So I mean, the Eagles had chances. I mean, they could have easily been up 14-0. Didn't do anything with those first 2 3-and-outs they had when they got in the red zone. That was rough. And then they got behind. They're not running the ball well, so we'll see. I mean, they get Goddard back for this game. Cunningham, our other starting middle linebackers, back.
Yeah.
I mean, because we were on our third string and a practice squad linebacker for that game, which really sucks. Because Cunningham.
Actually, I'm not gonna put Goddard in on my fantasy team because I don't want to root for any Eagle player against my boys.
Dude, I'm telling you, dude, he's...
Sorry, Joe, too, for your Broncos.
If I was Marquise Bell, I'd be keeping my head on a swivel running around out there this next game. Especially with Dallas Goedert back in the lineup.
So Shaq gonna be all saving grace on defense?
I think we'll see how much he's able to play. Losing Cunningham hurts. Cunningham's really good. He's like one of the guys who leads the league in tackles right now. So he had a hamstring injury last week. Him being out sucks. Them playing 3 games in 13 days fucking sucks. When they played when they played the Bills on 10 days rest, the Cowboys on the Bills, the Niners, and the Cowboys are all going to be on 10 days rest. while they're playing the Eagles in this road stretch. So that's really shitty scheduling. Like
So,
even if they lose this Cowboys game, let's say they lose and they're to 10-3, I like the way the Eagles schedule ends. I like that it goes Seahawks, then it's what? New York, Arizona, New York. So it could come down to y'all losing the Arizona game. If everybody wins out, you lose one, we lose one, and then we're tied, and it comes down to the Arizona game as a mutual opponent. That would be shitty, but also very funny. But the Cowboys' ending of schedule is a lot. I think is more difficult. I mean, obviously it is. It's more difficult than what the Eagles have to do after they play this game, because you still have to play the Bills, you still have to play Miami, and you still have to play the Lions, who are all the Bills are playing for a playoff spot, playing for a wild card spot, or a play-in.
so are we.
No, but you guys, if it doesn't matter, we've already clinched a playoff spot, and we don't have the number 1 seed clinched. So we're both going to the playoffs. We're both going to the playoffs. One of them's going to be one of us as the division winner, one of us as a wild card. That's like already established. It doesn't matter.
Well, I know. It's just more of, I think a good motivation is not wanting to play in San Francisco or Philly.
Well, and it's the same. It's the same with Detroit.
stadiums.
It's the same with Detroit, though. Detroit has
I don't mind playing in Detroit.
No, but Detroit's pretty good. Detroit's going to be playing for playoff contention, competing for a number 1 spot. Then you're also going to have Miami that's playing for playoff position, as where New York is out of it and Arizona's out of it, and both of those teams are almost going to be in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. So it could be.
Well, Miami might be the same with Cowboys. Like they're guaranteed a spot, but they're just playing for number 1.
Yeah, but I mean, but we're not even necessarily playing for number 1, playing for 2, number 3, or number 4. It's still fairly open in the AFC. It's a lot closer than people realize in the standings, and a lot of those teams still have to finish out their division schedules, just like the Eagles do, just like some of the Cowboys do. You guys still have to play Washington again, right? Or you already played Washington twice.
No.
Yeah, I think you. Yeah, so.
No. I think we played Washington last week of the season.
So you got some teams in that little stretch of games. Well, the Eagles, it won't be gimme games, but they'll be.
We played them.
You're gonna be we will be playing teams that are not playing for contention and playing for picks. And then you will be playing for teams that are playing for contention or fighting for spots, and that's where it could just be difficult. It could come down to. We could be a wash between the two of us. You win one, we win one. We walk out of this the exact same record, and then we'll see who takes care of business at the end of the season. That's probably what it's going to come down to. And the mutual opponents, the Eagles, besides playing San Francisco, which you also lost to, and then losing to the Jets, they've taken care of business against everybody. So you can't lose to Miami. You can't lose to the Bills, because we beat those teams already. So as mutual opponents, y'all have to win those games.
But the tiebreaker, I think, would have to come down to conference record, wouldn't it? Which I think y'all are still.
If it would be a tie. It would be a tie. If it's a tie and we beat the Giants, y'all beat Washington in the last game, and then it comes.
No, that's division. I'm saying conference. If we're talking about first place, I think if record is tied, then it goes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Or mutual opponents, and right
now you only have one conference loss.
What I'm saying
Jets is AFC.
Well, it would come down to the Arizona game potentially.
Yeah.
If we all beat the same teams, and we lose to the same teams, the Arizona game could be the deciding factor, which is wild. And if that does happen, I think this game this week's going to be crazy, really good. I think that the Eagles are going to play better than people are wanting to give them credit for. It's so interesting that this team is 37-2 in their last 39 games, and it's like they're frauds. It's like, nah, man, the Eagles beat the shit out of a lot of people last year, and a lot of people have game planned and adjusted, but I still think the Eagles are extremely competitive. Getting Leonard helps. Cunningham coming back helps. If we ever get a Monte Maddox back, maybe. But, Goddard coming back helps the offense. They were talking about it today. Goddard's, him not being there, it's easier to double team AJ Brown. You can
will say
you can double team
he-
AJ Brown. Because Goddard makes you cover him with someone that can cover from the linebacker spot. But AJ Brown, you can roll a safety over.
I had Goddard on my fantasy all year, and I hate to say it, he hasn't had a good year even before his injury.
But I mean, none of them really are. I mean, AJ Brown had a good streak of games, but Devontae Smith, they've all moved the ball. The three of them coexist in such a way that's nice. Just like Dalton Schultz really complimented and how Ferguson's starting to do for the Cowboys. Where like he's good and he can get open, but him being out there, you have to cover him, and that means that Devontae Smith
getting hurt this game. I'm gonna call it, and I'm not calling it because I want it to happen.
That's terrible. Why would you say that?
Well, the last 2 out of 3 games, he's gone out of the game or into a tent for separate injuries. Because against the Cowboys, it was his knee again.
Well, no, it's
that
Cowboys.
He had already injured, and then the last game, wasn't it a concussion protocol that he went?
Yeah, but you got to remember with the concussion protocol, that's not. Hold on, concussion protocol's not up to them whether they want to go into the tent or not.
I'm not saying
there's
that.
somebody that watches. I mean, what I would say is, I mean, and Dak snapped his ankle once, so I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, been occurring this season.
Jalen Hurts is running the ball better now than he has all year, and he looks like
better hope Jalen don't turn into a Burrow this season. That's all I'm saying.
See, but that's a terrible thing to say.
It's gonna be weird.
Why would you
had 2 injuries, and he's got some weird wrist thing.
No, man, I think he's fine.
I say it because our pass rush.
I think you're underestimating. It's not like 1998. It's extremely difficult to get called to the side and be like, you have to go into the blue tent and go into the back and clear concussion protocol. You literally can't have a concussion if they're going to put you back out there. They won't allow you to go. So what I'm saying is, I don't think
the fact that there was even
the fact that he got hit, he got stuck, but the offensive line didn't play that bad. A lot of his sacks were self-inflicted. So I mean, we'll see. I think that Goddard being out there is going to help a lot. I think the defense is going to be ready. I think it's going to be a good game either way.
I wouldn't put all your chips on Goddard.
No, I'm saying him being out there and being it's not like he broke his ankle. He broke his forearm and he's cleared to play, and he's probably super pissed because that was a dirty ass tackle that he got hit with last game. So like I said, Marquise Bell should have his head on a swivel for like a pull. No, I'm being honest. Like a pull, that's normally how this shit works. Somebody's gonna try to earhole him at some point in the game. And he's a smaller linebacker. He's super fast, really good, but he's also extremely undersized. So don't think that fucking Juergens or Kelsey's not going to try to go out there and stick him. Or Goddard's not going to try to go block down and stick him. Just like if somebody took a cheap shot on CeeDee Lamb and he came back, he wouldn't go out there and try to go stick that guy.
I don't remember this cheap shot that happened.
Whenever he pulled him down by his forearm when he was stiff-arming him out of bounds and he rolled over on it and snapped his forearm.
Oh God. How dare a guy grab a dude's arm?
All right.
Stiff arm.
2.0. Dirty hit, clean tackle.
I don't know if I saw that.
You should go watch it. It's pretty.
By just the description, I want to know your thought. Guy gets a stiff arm, grabs the dude's arm.
He grabs him by his arm and tackles him and rolls over it and like pins his arm underneath him.
People roll after they get on the ground. I mean, people do it to dudes' legs.
Pull it up on your phone, 2.0. Pull it up on your phone. I know that's what you're doing right now.
I think am I looking?
Dallas Goedert breaks arm, like the tackle.
Send it to Judge Judy.
But anyway, so Cowboys played the Seahawks. That was a surprisingly good game. Seahawks blew it at the end. The pass rush got all over them. Both quarterbacks had 3 touchdowns. Charbonnet had a touchdown. Pollard had a touchdown. They both almost had the exact same carries and yards. It's weird. Metcalf, DK Metcalf, 3 touchdowns.
Fastest recording catch of the season.
Yeah, I mean, he was gone. He was gone. I mean, he exposed Bland in a lot of ways that like you can out physical him if you're a bigger.
That's what happens to a big interception. It was the same with Diggs when he was having his breakout year. He would get beat a lot, but then he would always come through with 1 or 2 interceptions a game. So it just happens with that type of player, you know.
Yeah.
And Blaine got an interception. So I'll take.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, the first video didn't show the full thing. I'm watching it now.
Did you watch it?
Well, I'm just curious. I want his take because he's unbiased. He's a Broncos fan.
I don't think that was dirty.
Thank you.
It's like, you can't just he's smaller than him, so he has to grab his arm, and he does have to roll over just to get Goddard down. But then once they're on the ground, it's not like he's holding on to it and yanking it. He gets him on the ground, and it's like, oh, okay.
Dirty dude, dirty ass hit.
Don't tie the Cowboys into your Philly dirtiness. That's
Whatever. Y'all are one of the most
surprised y'all haven't picked up Dominican Sue.
They're talking about we might pick him back up. He's going somewhere.
Oh God.
Hey, he's great. He's great against the run. He's whatever.
He's also the dirtiest player of his time. Of his time, yes. Not of all time, but.
Yeah, I mean, I think he gets a bad rap. We've seen him he stomped on somebody.
And then wasn't it? Oh no, that was.
I've seen other people stomp on people. Albert Hainsworth stomped on a Dallas Cowboy and gave him.
Wasn't that Michael Vick's little brother?
That was Marcus. Yeah, Marcus Vick. He stomped on somebody's.
That ruined his pretty much career.
In college, he stomped on somebody's ankle and broke it. So I mean,
let's talk about college. Let's start with the college. I saw you posted that on the headline.
Yeah, I mean, how do y'all feel about this college football playoff?
But I'll let Joe go. He hasn't had much to talk about.
I don't know. I feel like their job is to get the four best teams into the college football playoffs, which I feel like they did. But I still feel like they fucked over Florida State. Florida State was at 4. They were undefeated, won their conference championship, and they got moved down. They played tough. They had a tough schedule. They went undefeated. They won their conference. They did everything that the committee has set a precedent that they need to do in order to get to the playoffs. And when they did all that, and they were ranked 4 the week before, and they still didn't make the playoffs, I think the committee fucked them over hard.
Did you watch the game?
No.
I think I fell asleep. It was so bad.
Yeah.
Because I was just watching it because I was having so much hopes for UT and what was going to happen if Florida State lost. And it was just, that's my whole thing was, if Florida State would have come out like a UT did, like other schools do in their bowls, where they just, totally dominate the other team. But it was 9-6 most of the game. It was just field goal. It was just so dragging. No team could get in. And so I think the committee had to look at that game and just be like, okay.
Well, that's what you get whenever
I forget who said it on ESPN, but they had a really good point. You can also thank TCU last year of just that utterly blowout on the championship game. And the committee, I think, was like, all right, we can't have another one of those in the playoffs or championship. And I think it's more proof, all this controversy and everything is more proof of why the 12-man playoff needs to just happen.
That
you have no controversy.
Yeah, but okay, you have 4 teams making it in, you have 5 power conferences. So every year you have the potential of an undefeated team not making their championship. There's 5. I'm saying
12 undefeated teams.
No, what I'm saying is right now there's 4 spots. There's 5 power conferences. So somebody's always going to be the best team of a power conference.
Yeah, I mean,
probably going. So that's the issue that you have. That's where they say 6 or 12. Obviously, they'll do 12. So where a lot of these teams that were pretty competitive, that would be interesting to watch. Liberty would be in. There'd be there'd be an at-large bid. There'd be buys. That would be really cool. But also, I mean, since the committee makes these decisions, while it sucks for Florida State and I feel bad, it's also not. There's not really anything they can do about it. The last 2 games they played, they didn't look that great. They weren't. There was no style points, no big wins to it. I mean, you could now if you
Third
wanted,
string quarterback.
and if you wanted to make and this will sound blasphemous, and Elwood will get pissed and disagree, but if you wanted to make a case that it should be Florida State and not Texas, I would agree. I would agree with that.
No,
Now, hold on.
no, because I think the only
The
I think
Bama,
Florida
the
State's
Bama, the
getting a
Bama, the
lot of
Bama win, the Bama win,
focus
the Bama win
with
over Georgia.
Georgia.
The Bama win over Georgia to me is more impressive than Texas's win over Alabama at the beginning of the year.
Not really, and also you have to
Because
look
they're
at
not the
it
same
as,
team. They're not the same
Is
team.
it fair to knock
Bama
Georgia
had their
completely
backup
out?
quarterback in, who they ended up benching, and now he's transferring. So if they would have played Bama today, I think Texas would have lost.
Yeah, Bama would kick the shit out of
We'll
Texas.
find out in
now.
the championship. 'Cause that's my guess.
So I mean, and I
Bama,
think,
Texas.
and what Texas is playing Washington. Is that?
Yeah.
That's gonna be a really good game. Washington's no joke. They arguably have like the best receiver in the country out there right now. But yeah, I mean, and that's just me. But I thought for a second it would be Bama, Florida State, Washington, and Michigan. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, there's a possibility of that happening and Texas not making it in. Because while they dominated in their game in the Big 12 championship, I wasn't like, they still gave up like mid-20s in points. I'm not that impressed with their schedule either. They struggled with Kansas State. They struggled with Kansas. We've seen them be in some really close games and play down to competition. Now Bama's no saint either, but I've seen them pull out big wins on big stages against bigger teams or bigger programs and not struggle as much. Or like, I know they had that last second touchdown, but that's in a big rivalry game, big moment, 4th and 31. That's wild. And it was executed perfectly. There's something to be said about that. So while I think Texas deserves to be in there, I'm saying you can make a case for me. If I was going to pull someone out and put Florida State in, I'd be pulling out Texas. I'd put Bama at 3, and I'd put Florida State at 4. And Texas would be at 5 on the outside looking in, just because I don't think their quality wins are as big or any better. Their quality of schedule isn't as good as Alabama's, and
But you think Georgia should be out of the top 4 after doing what they did, being
and then also
just losing the last game that was not a blowout, close.
No, I mean what? So I mean, or you could say it should be Bama, Georgia, Washington, and Michigan, and leave Texas and leave Florida State the fuck out of it.
But unfortunately, you just can't because Texas beat Bama. No matter what players.
No, I get it, but I'm saying
that
win against Bama, it doesn't carry as much weight as it does now because the loss to Oklahoma, which is ranked lower than anybody else. Like I'm saying that
last play of the game, super rival, neutral ground stadium, nah.
I mean, that's where we disagree.
Not a bad loss.
I don't think that Texas win over Alabama is as impressive as the year's gone on, compared of Texas's body of work and how we've seen them struggle against teams that they should have dominated. And
we'll find out next year.
Beat the shit out of. They have no problems keeping bad teams in games with them and dragging these games the fuck out. That's what I said. I said it one time, and I said it one time all year, and I was fucking right. When I said in the Big 12 shootout, I said Texas is going to lose this game because this is the type of game that Texas loses. They lose when they're not supposed to, and they barely win when they should beat the shit out of people. When they're not supposed to lose, Texas fucking loses. That's what.
Yeah, but Texas.
No, but that's
that it could go.
Everybody disagreed with me, and they ended up losing that game. And
like I said,
they had no business.
One side could have a 3 to 4 touchdown lead, and the other team will come back and win. That's how crazy that rival game is.
But I'm saying Texas had no business losing that game. That almost cost them their hopes of being. If Oklahoma doesn't perform decently well, but then they lost to OSU at the end of the year. So if OSU's that bad,
creamed OSU.
I know, but you lost to Oklahoma. That's where I'm saying it's all that. It's like a Spider-Man. It's like a Spider-Man meme, and everybody's pointing fingers at each other because everybody's losing games. Florida State didn't lose any games. You could make a case that they deserve to be in. For me personally, you can't take out Washington. You can't take out Michigan. And Alabama beating the 2-time defending champs who won 29 straight games. So, sidebar. Also, disregarding and using TCU's performance last year, against a team like Florida State is complete and total bullshit. That's total garbage because they had to play a game to get to the championship in the fucking first place. So it's not like they didn't.
Third string
So
quarterback.
it's not like they went in there and didn't have a team that competed and earned their right to be in the championship game. They got smoked by arguably one of the best teams we've seen in a long time. We've been saying that about Georgia or Bama. They're up on that wall, on that tree of potential best, whatever, back-to-back champs ever, winningest college quarterbacks ever, big championship game performance. They have all this. I mean, there's two of those guys. Three of them are on the Eagles. And Jalen Carter and fucking Jordan Davis. I'm just saying, that's how good those teams were. So you can't discount TCU making it to the game and losing to one of what is considered top 10 best teams of all time, and be like, oh, that's why Florida State doesn't deserve to go. I
didn't say that. I said that's why they were scared to do it.
Well, I know, but I'm saying that's chicken shit. That's a bullshit reason to keep a team out that went undefeated. But Texas, we'll see. Texas, Washington's going to be good. Washington's no joke. And they throw the fucking ball around, and they have arguably. So Texas probably had the best, if not one of the best running backs in the country before he got hurt. And people forget Washington throws the ball, Penix Jr. They have one of the better running backs in college football as well. It's going to be a really fucking good game. It's probably going to be a shootout. It's probably going to be a chuck fest.
My last point to the whole committee thing, and I'm going to end it here. They're at a lose-lose. Because for so many years, there's a team that everyone knows should have made it because they know they're the better team, but because of how the things work out, they don't get in.
This is the last year.
Now this year, I know, happens all the time. Now this year, the committee finally is like, all right, we heard you people. We are going to put in the 4 best teams of what we think are the best teams, and people even agree, oh yeah, we do think these are the 4 best teams. But how could you? So it's like no matter what they do, they're always gonna piss someone off. So I think, like I said,
the
12
will be fine. You take the top.
And
10.
people say, well, then there will be a time where 12's not enough. I don't think that'll ever be in college, just because I think even giving it the 2 past the top 10 is even that kind of wild card area, because it's like after 6 and 7, the rankings kind of dropped out far as these teams are just there. They're not in any league of the top 5 most of the time.
Yeah. So who are you picking to win it all? 2.0?
Me?
No, 2.0.
Michigan.
Michigan gets it done. Big Blue. What about you, Smellwood? Texas.
I am picking, I don't know about winner, I will say that, but I'm picking Alabama, Texas. And I think it's going to build up this new rivalry of Texas going into the SEC and bringing back the old rivalry, so to say. So that's my guess.
I'm hoping it's Washington.
The rematch.
I want it to be Washington. I want Washington to win it. Like last year in the Pac-12 dissipating, the last Pac-10 or Pac-12 champs. I think they've been waiting since like 91 to win another championship. Was the last time they won a Pac-12 championship. So that'd just be awesome. That'd be super awesome if Washington, it's just somebody other than, I mean, I guess Texas would be kind of like that, but they've won in the past 25 years. Yeah, because it'll
be the last.
But they've won in the past like 25 years. All these guys have fucking won, and it'd be nice. I mean, I guess Michigan hasn't won in a while. So the longest droughts for championships got to be Michigan and Washington. Everybody else, it's like been there. So Bama, I mean, I think you could make a case that
Texas hasn't won since.
Yeah, but that's in like the past like 25 years. That's what I said. Like some of them,
Michigan hasn't won in the past 25.
Michigan hasn't won in this century.
Really?
In this century.
That's crazy to me that like they're technically the winningest college team of all time, but yet they kind of sounds like the Cowboys. Anyway.
Stupid. Actually, I think in a lifetime, for
far as
history of the league, I think the Eagles actually have a better lifetime record.
I didn't mean a record. I meant the Soup Championship.
Oh, yeah.
Get my shutter.
Oh yeah. If you want, you go get those out of the shed. You can dust them off. We'll give you some time to polish them up so they look.
Well, we got a new one coming.
All right. We talk Cowboys Seahawks. other
Yes.
games from last week in our little recap. Colts Titans. Colts lit them up. Titans suck, man. I mean, Will Levis didn't play bad. Henry's 2 touchdowns, 100 yards. Hopkins 7 for 5 with a touchdown. Pittman had a game-winning touchdown at the end of the game. Gardner Minshew chucking it around. The dude's a beast. Colts 7-5. Titans 4-8. I mean, I don't think the Colts really do anything. It's good. I always like seeing Gardner Minshew do well, though. He's likable. He's goofy, like parties in a van, wears jean cutoff
Yeah,
shorts.
because he's the backup for them, right?
Yeah, but
Technically.
Richard, like just like I said, like when it started, I was like, this dude's not going to finish the year. He's going to get fucking hurt. And I think the next
What
week
was
it was
the-
like his head exploded. I was like, oh my god.
What was the number I heard this week about how many backups have started?
I think
this
there's been
year?
50 different quarterbacks or something wild like that.
Yeah, it's in the 40s, I think, for sure. It was unreal when I heard it. I was like, holy fuck.
A lot of injuries this year, man. A lot of injuries. Falcons versus
COVID.
Jets. Falcons beat the Jets. Tim Boyle, 14 for 25 and a pick. He got cut after this. Then Desmond Ritter, 121, a touchdown. Bijan Robinson, 53 yards. Nothing. Shitty game.
Oh, the one thing I forgot to mention, and it only brings it up because Aaron Rodgers is technically a Jet. Did you hear the interview with Rodgers saying the most fun quarterback he's having watching is Dak Prescott right now?
Okay, that's fine.
Pretty cool. Y'all hate on Dak so much.
Not really.
Oh, all the time.
No, not really. I think he's like overpaid. They're talking about giving him an extension, and I'm like, good.
Overpaid in the MVP race, and he's overpaid. Yeah,
I've heard him be in the MVP race multiple times and not do
not ever
and not
like this.
do shit in the playoffs. So whenever he actually like does something and gets somewhere in the playoffs, then I'll be like, dang, Dak Prescott's really earned to be the highest paid quarterback
Well,
in the league. But I mean,
No, I
Joe.
didn't say that.
Well, because he has been a couple of times for a couple of years. He was the
No,
high. Yes, he
that's
was.
Watson, okay.
No, there was a couple. Yeah, now, but before Watson got his deal, it's not like Dak didn't set the
He might
market.
have been for like 2 months or something.
No, Dak Prescott was one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league. That was the whole, should we re-sign him now or should we wait? And then he hurt his ankle, and then y'all made him one of the highest. You made him the highest paid player in the league after he came off of ankle surgery.
Well, because Jerry's good like that.
True or false,
So
Joe?
bad.
True or false? That total.
True.
And then this is the issue with the Cowboys, because if you guys let
He
him,
said dare.
no, look, if the Cowboys have an issue with their cap management, and they always have, and this is something that always bites them in the ass. So if they allow Dak, so at one point they had the highest paid outside linebacker, the highest paid receiver, the highest paid center, the highest paid tackle, the highest paid guard, the highest paid running back, and the highest paid quarterback. And that's when they were like $30 million in cap hell. And that's why they got rid of Amari Cooper. And that's whenever they got rid of all these other pieces. They got rid of Jalen Smith because you paid him way too much money. Dank Lawrence took a pay cut because he was the highest paid defensive end. And what do you think is going to happen with CeeDee Lamb, with Dak's new contract, if you keep Pollard, and then if you pay CeeDee Lamb? And then if you have to pay Deron Bland, and you have to pay Diggs. Diggs, Bland, Dak, CeeDee Lamb, Ferguson. None of these guys have been paid, and there's only so.
Figure it out.
I hope you
got a
do.
lot of weapons too.
I know, and we're great with the cap. We're fucking
Yeah,
fantastic. We're fantastic with the cap.
Stay out of my cap, dude. This isn't Pogs. All right.
Just saying, man. Lions beat the New Orleans Saints. Is Derek Carr done? Should he just like leave? He seems so bad. But every time I watch the Saints, I'm like depressed watching Derek Carr play.
I think he's just always playing hurt. He's just always hurt.
When he got hurt in this game, then they had the Jameis experience go out there, which I love Jameis. But yeah, I mean, Taysom Hill, they were booing Carr after he threw his pick. He started off the game 0 for 1 with the pick.
Warden sent me a bunch of videos of Jameis Winston being like the goofiest son of a bitch you've ever seen. I didn't know how
Who
goofy
else will see you to
apparently
W
Winston is.
today? Who will see you to W? That's
Bro,
the shit's awesome.
his well, they were showing like his workouts, like regiments and
Oh, and
stuff
like the
that he did.
backyard where the guy's like hitting him with the glove and shit. Yeah, he's wild. Jameis Winston's awesome. He's a
And
fucking
in his
spirit.
interviews, he's just yeah, man.
So I felt bad whenever he was in college because I couldn't stand him, and I was like, "This guy's an idiot." But now I love it. Like there's that in championship speech he has after they win. He's like, "I looked at you," and I was like, "They looked at me and they say, Jameis, you strong?" I said, "I'm strong if you strong," and I said, "We strong then." It was like the worst. It's one of the worst post game interviews. I was like, "Oh my god, this guy's an idiot."
You see the video where
And now I love
forget
him.
who it was on like their defense or something, and it's like the serious huddle where like the one person's like pumping up the team,
Yeah.
and the one guy pumping up the team is like, you take a look at the guy next to you to the right and left, and you got his back. And Jameis Winston with just like this grin looks at the guy next to him, puts his arm around him, he's like, "I got your back, dog."
Yeah, no.
Dude.
But Lions go to 9-3. The Lions look a little shaky though. Honestly, their defense hasn't
Yeah,
looked
they're-
that great. Their secondary's been getting scorched a little bit. They're good on offense, but man, I mean, I don't know. They're running the ball well with Gibbs and with Montgomery, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy Cowboys end of our schedule. Like the only team is Miami is still somewhat, but like you just brought up Detroit, Bills. Kind of seeing these kind of teams on this wishy-washy table.
And like I'm saying, like you're getting the Dolphins playoff spot or not. Tyreek Hill's playing and he's pushing for 2,000.
Oh yeah,
And he's pushing for the
believe
most
me.
yards ever. So he's gonna do. He's just gonna run as fast as he can. I'm so glad we played him when we did and got that shit out of the way because it is obnoxious. It is crazy how fucking fast this dude is. It doesn't matter who's covering him, who's on him, and he's out there on a mission to be the first to 2,000. And he's so fucking fast that he's just gonna do it. He's essentially, if the Flash played football, that's Tyreek Hill. He's like a dick. If the Flash played football and like beat up his pregnant, girlfriend and, got kicked out of college and then like is accused of abusing that same child with that same woman later on down the line, that is who Tyreek Hill is. He'd be that Flash. Oh, sorry. I just don't think that we should necessarily.
No, I didn't know all that.
Oh, yeah. That's why he went to Oklahoma State and got kicked the fuck out of school and wound up going to Bumfuckville JUCO is because he got arrested, convicted, and admitted to like choking and beating up his pregnant fiance.
Speaking of pregnant women getting beat up, I don't know if this was brought up last podcast or if
Jesus
it happened
Christ.
after. Well, the Von Miller thing, dude.
Well, yeah.
In Dallas? I was like, what?
Yeah, I mean, and now he's on the commissioner's exempt list. He's not playing, but now they're saying he might play. I mean, and stuff like that, domestic stuff, unless it's real cut and dry, like with Tyreek Hill, where he admitted to it, got kicked out of school for it, and then rather than trying to rejoin the team, just went a different route. But he was so fast, he still made the league. That's why he fell in the draft. Tyreek Hill would have been like a top 2 pick, but he fell in the draft, and it's like because people didn't want to draft him. And then he showed up and is so fast, everybody just kind of forgot about it. So that doesn't really get talked about that often. It shouldn't be overlooked, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
I mean, just like Calvin Ridley's never gonna. If Calvin Ridley will never be able to shake gambling and betting parlays on football that he's not even playing in and gets suspended for a year. Tyreek Hill, who really didn't get punished at all at the NFL level, like I don't know, he's
Watson.
Yeah, Watson. I mean, like Tyreek Hill's, done some stupid shit.
The saddest thing about Watson is I don't even get where the special treatment comes from because I don't even think he's that good.
He, in a vacuum, in that first 4 or 5 years he's in Houston, he was fantastic. He was like the second highest rated quarterback in the league.
Yeah, but also I don't remember Houston ever being like.
No, he's the only. They would make the playoffs, and he's the only reason why. And then they'd win playoff games against teams sometimes they shouldn't beat because he's out there. There's one play where he got kicked in the face and is blind in one eye and throws like a dart on 3rd down on the run, like crazy shit. He was making crazy plays. This offense he's in now, where he's under center, hand under center, dropping back to pass. that's not really what he's good at. So this offense isn't really built around him. It's built around Nick Chubb in the running game, and they're asking him to play a different style. He's not really in a shotgun formation, getting to throw the ball around like that's when he's probably at his best. They have him like drop back, play action pass, to read. Like it's, they have him playing like Troy Aikman, not like, I don't know, Pat Mahomes.
I don't know what made me think, but we didn't even discuss about Nelly performing the halftime show at the UT game. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. Nelly's having a kid though with Ashanti. Shout out Nelly and Ashanti.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, and it was like him playing all the old hits, and I was just like, oh my god. Halftime shows make me laugh.
Nelly's a badass. Broncos lose to the Texans. Texans win. Want to take us through this game? 3 picks by Mr. Broncos Nation. He was riding the interception in the interception lane.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, one of those interceptions was on the last play of the game. So I think it was 4th down. He just had to throw it up. Still, 3 interceptions. I think he was 0 for 11 on 3rd down. Some other horrible stat that they just didn't execute what they needed to execute. And it's unfortunate because we really needed that game. Russ kind of disappeared when we really needed him.
Yeah.
So glad we're paying him like $300, but $300 million.
What's up? Oh, dang, she's getting big, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's cause for alarm at all. I think it's just we didn't go out there and execute. It just wasn't our day.
Do you think y'all make the playoffs?
I'm optimistic about it, but it's also I'm mainly optimistic because it's the first thing I can look forward to since Peyton Manning.
6-6, man. 6-6. That's way better.
Well, see, I mean, our rest of our schedule isn't that bad. I think we have the Chargers, Patriots, Lions, Chargers.
Oh, Chargers twice? They're trash.
Yeah. So it's a very doable. Patriots are horrible.
Yeah. I mean, they lost
Lions
to the Chargers.
game, iffy. But I think it's in Denver. So that'll help. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, because next game, Chargers beat the Patriots 6-0. Trash-ass game. I mean, what is the problem with the Chargers? Herbert, 22 of 37 for 212. Austin Eckler, 14 of 18 for 14 carries for 18 yards. They can't run the ball. Keenan Allen, 5 for 58, then 5 for 52 by Quentin Johnston, who had a bad drop. So they're just like, it's wild. They're just chucking the fucking ball around, and they're not getting anything for yards. Like, that's not good.
It's got to be coaching. They have the talent. They have the players. Like, the only thing that left is the coaching.
But do they have the talent? I know you could say at some positions, a lot of their talent would be aging or depreciating assets, right?
Absolutely.
So, like, they almost need to, like, go back to the drawing board and rethink how they're going to do it. Mike Williams is out for another year with another serious leg-centric injury. Keenan Allen's not getting any older. Austin Eckler might not be back. I think he just signed a 1-year deal, right? I don't think he signed some big, long deal. So you're going to be back in contract hell with that guy. And he's somebody that could easily go to, like, the Cowboys or somebody else where Eckler could just be
But
like,
I don't want him.
No, but Eckler could be like, I'm out. He might be just as expensive as Pollard. Pollard might want too much money because he's on the franchise tag. You don't want to franchise him again. And you can make a case that his value with the Cowboys has dropped. He doesn't have as much of a bargaining chip with Jerry and the Cowboys.
Oh no, yeah, Pollard.
So Pollard's either on the way out the door or you're going to overpay him. I don't think he's taking a pay cut, especially if Eckler leaves the Chargers and the Chargers are looking for a running back, right? I mean, that's just how this shit works. But yeah, I mean, Chargers are just bad. Patriots are bad. They had Bailey Zappi out there. They benched Mac Jones for the 3rd time. I mean, they're just not good. There's 2 field goals, both in the second quarter.
Yeah, that was
That's terrible.
brutal.
Both in the second quarter. Terrible.
Yep, and I had Herbert and Eckler on my fantasy team. Disgusting.
We got
And I still won.
Cardinals beat the Steelers. Pickett got hurt, so you had Mitch Trubisky come in there. He was slinging though, 11 for 17 for 117 and a touchdown. Mitch Trubisky is still pretty fucking good. He's a solid backup. James Conner had 2 touchdowns over 100 yards. Kyler Murray 13 to 23 with a touchdown. I mean, I don't really know what to make of this Cardinals team. Do they keep Kyler around? Do you keep Kyler Murray? Do you try to trade him? Who wants him? I feel like you're stuck with him.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get rid of him.
Like, I don't know anybody who's like, I really want Kyler Murray. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah. Just so I don't get it. Dolphins beat the Commanders. Poor Sam Howell, 12 of 23 for 127. Tua Tagovailoa, 2 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill, 5 catches, 157, 2 touchdowns. 9 minutes, like, what, barely into the game, 78-yard touchdown pass. Then he had another 60-yard touchdown pass. I mean, he's just all over the place. And they got Achane back, who was running all over the place. 17 carries for 73 yards and 2 touchdowns. Miami looks like they're figuring it out on offense. They're back to 9-3. Commanders fall to 4-9. I think the Commanders are just waiting for the season to fucking be over. They're gonna play hard, but they're just waiting to be done, so they can get new pieces, get new coaches, get a new direction. So it's almost like they can't wait for the season to be over any sooner. But you know, Sam Howell looks serviceable. He looks like he could be decent, big picture wise, and he's gonna be cheap for you with where you drafted him. So they have a lot of cap space they can spend on other positions. Make trades for people, like they can move a lot of money around because they have a lot of freedom that a lot of teams don't. Bucks beat the Panthers. Panthers are trash, 1-11. It's wild that they beat Houston. Tampa's at 5-7. So Tampa's 5-7. Whether they have like 6-6, that division is just so bad. Mike Evans, 10 straight. Every single season he's been in the league, he has 1,000 yards now. I used to hate on him. Can't really do that anymore. 7 catches for 162 and a touchdown. But neither of these teams are really doing shit. The Panthers fired their coach. So we'll see what happens and what the next move they decide to make with that. Rams beat the shit out of the Browns, but Joe Flacco was out there, 23 of 44 for 254 and 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Stafford was kind of dealing. He had 3 touchdowns. Puka Nacua had a touchdown, 100 yards. He broke 1,000, but then he also got hurt in this game. Karen Williams was running the ball. The Browns fall to 7-5. When they don't have a quarterback, they're bad. They're missing Chubb. They're missing their quarterback. This is a bad team. A bad offense with a really good defense that keeps them in games. But 19-36, yeah, not good. Chiefs, Packers. Packers beat the Chiefs. There was a really bad, or some would say a bad, no call on a pass interference late in the game. But Jordan Love's starting to look like the Jordan Love in the first game, where he's 25-36, 267, 3 touchdowns. A.J. Dillon looked good. Mahomes threw a pick. I mean, they fall to 8-4. So I mean, right now the Cowboys. There's a lot of teams that have better records than the Chiefs, and we haven't seen that in a couple of years. At this time of the year, them not being one of like the best, if not second best record in the league, kind of foreign. So, you know, we'll see. But Pacheco, over 100 yards, touchdown. Probably my least favorite, one of my least favorite players in the league is Isaiah Pacheco. Everything he does, he's just like jumping around, and they're like, oh, look at him. I'm like, no, that's so annoying. Like, there's that old saying, I'm sure you've heard it, act like you've been there before. Like, good Lord, he's got runs for 4 yards, and he's like humping the air. It's like, oh, it's just so obnoxious. But yeah, I mean, Chiefs fall to 8-4, Packers 6-6. Christian Watson had a nice touchdown catch. I mean, he had 2 touchdowns. Sorry. This Packers offense looks like they're figuring it out. It might be too little too late, but it is good confidence rolling into like a playoff run or pushing for a playoff spot. But, you know, Packers look a little more promising than we thought they would. Then the Bengals beat the Jags. The Prince that is promised. Ended up getting hurt in this game. He was 22 of 29 for 258, 2 touchdowns. Jake Browning, the pride of the Washington Huskies, 32 of 37 for 354 and a touchdown. Joe Mixon had 2. Jamar Chase, 11 for 149 and a touchdown. I mean, all over the place. This is actually a really good game. It's sad to see Trevor Lawrence go down. That really sucks because he's been playing really good. And you know the Bengals fall to 8-4. The Jags fall to 8-4 when they had a really good shot at potentially usurping and having a higher seed than the Chiefs, so that they fall and they're still even with them. But good game. Bengals 6-6, probably not making the playoffs, but they got a lot of fight. They are professionals. They had almost 500 yards of offense, which is wild. I mean, I think the Jags still make the playoffs, but that's not good.
Yeah, but I think what's his name for Cincinnati looked pretty good for himself. The backup, Brownie. So what is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at some shit. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. This is going to be a pretty good game, Cowboys-Eagles. Well, let's get into bets real quick. It's time for 2.0 and his bets. I think we had Mr. Goody back last week, which was great. I don't think he's coming. But shout out to Mr. Goody for actually appearing.
Damn.
He might.
Luka
This is
apparently
about
gets
that.
into a scuffle.
This is about that time that he would show the fuck up, so he might.
We'll see.
Oh, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, it's Cowboys Eagles, so he might just to talk shit to you. Because you guys have
He has the balls.
You guys have the best the best hatred for each other. It cracks me up. You know, it's talking shit. It's like cracks me up on such a good level. I appreciate it. So thank you for that. Oh, and did I tell you he was furious whenever you joined the other podcast?
Yeah, you told me.
Oh man, he was so fucking pissed off at me. It was so. I was in tears. I was like, I had to. He's like, well, now he has the link. So what the fuck? I was like, he's not gonna keep fucking with you. Calm down.
Yeah, dude, I don't got the time or effort.
But he was pissed. He was like, you compromised the link. I was like, it's fine. But oh, dude, furious. Sorry. Okay, sorry. 2.0. Get into your shit, hot boy. Round of applause for 2.0 and how hot he is. Woo.
So last week we went 1-2.
Woo.
Yeah. So our one win, we had the Lions -4 at the Saints. They did end up covering that. The Steelers did not cover the 5.5 against the Cardinals. They just lost outright. Then we had the 3-leg teaser. The Broncos covered the 9.5. Eagles did not cover the 9, and the Jaguars did not. Eagles did not cover the +9. The Jaguars did not cover the -2. So 1-2 on the teaser. Lost it. Would have lost it anyways.
Yeah.
So this week, just 3 plays. Taking the Ravens -7 against the Rams. The Rams have been playing a lot better recently. They're picking up steam, but the Ravens have just had their bye last week. I think they're the better team. They've had the entire bye week to prepare for this Rams team. And I think coming out of the bye, they're going to be healthy, they're going to be fresh, they're going to be rested, and I think we're going to see this Ravens team that absolutely dominated the Lions. It'll be kind of like the same sort of game. You have like a team that's kind of hot coming in, and the Ravens are just going to humble them. The Ravens are on a bigger mission this season. So, I like the Ravens -7.
Yeah, I think that's a good play. Coming out.
Do you
of the
think
bye
Ravens
week.
in number 1 in the AFC?
Yeah, right now they are.
Could be, yeah.
Have the most quality wins. They have the most impressive wins out of anybody. Most impressive wins are probably Ravens, Eagles, and Niners in like body of work.
Ooh, He wanted to say Cowboys. You heard it. Cowboys.
No, well, I mean, you can't really say that, and like, it's not in any particular order. Because
I know. I'm just
I
fucking.
mean, if anything, it'd be the Niners would be number one, but they've lost the most games out of that same group. So that's where it's like they've also have some bad losses as well. But they did beat us. They beat y'all. They beat the Jags. Destroyed those teams that they've played that are in contention. They've beaten everybody very handily. I don't even think the Jags got to double digits. I think it was bad. So, what's your next one?
Yeah. I got the Broncos +3 at the Chargers.
Ooh.
So I like this number at +3. It means we're catching a field goal. With the Broncos, as I talked about a little bit earlier, the Broncos just did not execute last game. So I think this is a bit of an overreaction to that loss against Houston. Whereas the Chargers, the last couple weeks, haven't done anything. They had 2 field goals against the Patriots last week. Don't really get why the Broncos are underdogs here. So I like that we're catching the 3. We get the key number there with them. So I'm gonna take the Broncos +3 against the Chargers.
All right.
I see that the. Is it true the Broncos have one of the worst rush defenses?
I think for a period, yeah. But like, I don't think is that season long or over the last 6 games.
I feel like that's what my fantasy, because I was trying to drop Eckler, or just because he's been pissing me off, and then I saw it and it was like against Denver, number 1 green. I was like, oh well, fuck. So yeah.
I mean, we have struggled. I don't know. I mean, our defense at the beginning of the season versus our defense now are completely two completely different units. So I don't know if it'd be fair to judge it throughout the entire season.
Right.
I don't know the exact statistics. But anyways, so Broncos +3. You can sprinkle the money line. I do like that. Then we got the teaser. Seahawks at 49ers. We're taking the 49ers from -10.5 to -4.5. And then we're taking the Titans at the Dolphins. We're taking the Dolphins from -13 down to -7 to get us right at that key number right there, all at -120.
Okay, so just a 2-leg teaser.
Yeah.
Okay. Recap them real quick.
Yeah, so Ravens -7, Broncos +3. Then the teaser, we got the 49ers from -10.5 to -4.5, and the Dolphins from -13 to -7.
Isn't he sexy? 2.0. Hottest man in town. All right, Elwood. Any other shit talking you want to get out of the way real quick?
What are you doing for Sunday? It's a late game.
Yeah, that's not too bad though. I don't mind when it's the late game because then there's nothing.
You're a night boy.
No, because there's nothing else going on. Because whenever it's like I'm sure like with you, whenever the Cowboys are playing, I don't really pay attention to any of the other games. So I like whenever like if we're playing or if the Eagles are playing the late game or something. So then at least when that's on, that's the only football that's on. But so at least it won't be competing with anything else. We'll get all the coverage. I'd rather it be that way than us be like one of the games on, like the Niners-Eagles game. That should have been the game of the week. That should have been the night game. It's the game of the week, but it's one of the 6 games at 3:25. So get the fuck out of here. That should be your primetime game. But then they flex the Eagles Seahawks game to Monday night. That's like from Sunday morning. It's like, okay. That's really weird. You could have flexed.
Well, what did I see is tomorrow? I looked at it and I go, man, that might be the worst Thursday night football of the year right there. What was it?
Oh, Patriots, Steelers.
Oh, yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, it'll be Bailey Zappi. But then you never know.
Gross.
That'll be a game where it'll be like, yeah, it'll be like, what was it? The Jets game, where it was like 2-0. I was like, what is the score at the bottom of the fucking screen? 2-0. What the hell?
Well, that's what I hate about the Patriots right now. It's like they're gonna play good defense because of the coaching, but their offense can't do shit. So it's just going to be this stale fucking game of just, it's like, yeah, not fun to watch.
No, it's going to be really boring. And it's not like, I mean, we might, Mitchell Trubisky might go out there and be dealing, though. So that'd be kind of tight. If anybody's going to be throwing the ball around, it's going to be the old Polish hammer, Mitchell Trubisky. Out there slanging
and I want to go see the new Godzilla movie. Because I've heard it's so fucking good.
Which one? Godzilla -1?
Yeah, -0, -1.
Yeah.
Damn, that was.
But isn't that like a whole nother? Isn't that a whole nother universe? Isn't that like restarting the universe of Godzilla compared to the other ones?
I don't know if it is. Well, I know it's a prequel. It's like placed in right after World War II, but I'm pretty sure it's a Japanese studio made.
That's what I'm saying. It's not like an American.
But the Godzilla structure, because as a Godzilla fan, like each Godzilla has a different, like pretty much since the conception of the original Godzilla, he has like gone up like this on the size charts. Like every time they put out a new Godzilla, they're like, all right, our Godzilla has to be twice the size of the last Godzilla. From what I've seen, like the whole body structure almost looks identical from what we're seeing in Kong and all the other movies. But it's like he's like more scaly, so it could be the same. I'm not sure. But 97 on Rotten Tomatoes, and all my buddies that have seen it said it's fucking amazing. I was like, all right.
I am excited about the last Planet of the Apes film that's going to be coming out.
What?
Yeah, they're doing another Planet of the Apes.
Like, actually, I'm
like
more excited about it.
Like Caesar's dad.
New
No.
Mad Max.
That looks awesome too, but that looks super awesome. But they did a really good job. I think people forget how good of a job they did with the other 3 Planet of the Apes.
I don't know if I saw the last one.
There was War for Planet of the Apes, Rise of Planet of the Apes, and then
the one dude. I forget his name.
This one would be apes rule the world. They speak, they talk to each other, so it's where like the Charlton Heston one is. And if you remember in the original one, the very first one with James Franco, they shoot a spaceship off into space. So this next one is going to be like the original.
Is him coming back?
It's going to be whoever was in that spaceship, potentially. It's Icarus coming back potentially and coming to the planet, and everything's all crazy, and they're like, what the fuck happened?
Cool.
That could be in this movie at some point, or it could be the end of this movie. But it's all like Caesar's gone, it's all the future, there's like deserts and shit. So it's like the original Planet of the Apes. So they've done it like prequel wise really well, that this could be fucking awesome. It's like the same premise of the Tim Burton one, minus like Marky Mark and the strung out chick from Fight Club.
Tim Burton one, gross.
Yeah, that one's really bad.
I didn't know they were doing that. That's cool.
Yeah, so the trailer came out for it not too long ago, and it looks super fucking awesome. Because it'd be good to like, they come out with those every once in a while, and it's just like, that's something that they still need to finish, because we know how it's supposed to start, which is where that's supposed to end. So, a 4th volume.
That's how I am with Dune right now. Like every Dune movie until the last one, I'm just gonna be like, oh.
You say Doom or Dune?
Dune.
Oh,
Dune.
Okay. Yeah. Dune's one of those. All right.
Which that's coming out soon too.
Got any words of wisdom 2.0 before we let you go to bed?
You got any movie you're excited about?
Probably. I just can't think of it.
Probably John Wick 5.
No, it's the new.
I've never seen a John Wick.
No, dude, he works.
What?
He works for like the government now, dude. He was once that Jason Bourne, dude. That's what he's excited about. Stupidest movies ever. Just simply because, like, how much can one man need to remember that it takes him that long? He thought he remembered everything from last time. Well, he forgot something he didn't know. The Bourne Ultimatum. I'm like, dude, come on, man. Like, how many times?
It's multi-personality.
I thought he got all of his memories back. Now there's more memories. He misremembered his memories. Get the fuck out of here, dude. What is this
That
shit?
being said, I've heard the new Mission Impossible is really good, and it's made me want to just go back and watch all the Mission Impossible movies. I might skip 2 because that's
The power,
probably the worst
the
one.
power of Scientology. Is that the one with the Metallica song? Yeah,
That's the John Woo one or whatever, where they're on a bunch of motorcycles
Time I'll
and
disappear.
explosions and just it's like over the top. It's like borderline Biker Boys meets Fast and Furious meets Mission Impossible.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Biker Boys, best movie ever.
Triple X Part 3. Let's go. What about you? Do you have any words of wisdom before I let you go, Smellwood?
I think it's going to be a good game. I really do. But I think Cowboys win. I think we take it at home. I think we even it up like we have the past couple of years of one of us takes, one each of the season.
What do you think? Who do you got 2.0?
Cowboy. Nah, Eagles.
See, right there, you lost.
It's okay if you want to say it.
Gambling rule number 1.
I just can't root for the Cowboys.
I think I think it's going to be a good game. I think it'll be a physical game. I think that the Eagles are going to come out super pissed off and ready to play some football this weekend. And I think that it'll be like in the Miami game where when they lost to the Jets the week before, they came out and played pretty tough defense and turned the ball over. And I think they're going to be out there ready to hit some people. So it'll be a good game, but I think the Eagles have something more to prove than the Cowboys do right now. Because everybody's acting like, no, because we were underdogs in our own game, and granted, we got our asses kicked.
We lost y'all last time, so I don't get that.
I don't get it either. Because everybody's like, oh, they're like the 10th best team now. They suck. They're frauds. Even though we've had the best record in football for 2 straight years, somehow the Eagles lose 2 games and they're frauds. But Miami's 8-4. The Chiefs are 8-4, and they're like, why does think Pat Mahomes can get them over the?
Yeah, I wish I could feel sorry for you, but
you don't. I don't want you to.
Dak throws 1 interception. He's automatically the worst quarterback.
Well, Dak, it's the history of Dak throwing bad, poorly timed interceptions. He had
1 season. No. Season.
This is the same thing. It's the same thing with like Tony Romo. When they'd be like, Tony Romo is like the best 4th quarter quarterback in the league. But you could make whenever he was playing. But you could make a case that everybody talked about how shitty he was, no matter how good his stats were, because he threw bad timed interceptions. Like Monday Night Football, overtime, interception to the Steelers, return for a touchdown, game over. Doesn't matter how many times Tony Romo came back and won in the 4th quarter, he was never getting over those plays. So if he ever made one, it was magnified. It's the same with Dak Prescott.
I love all my words of wisdom have just
but what I'm saying is
you off and
what I'm saying is that like Dak puts up good numbers, and I'm not saying that Dak is the worst quarterback in the league. I'm saying sometimes he has turnovers at the worst possible times. Tony Romo fumbling a snap. Fumbling a snap on a field goal. There was like 10 plays where you could make a case like, oh, Tony Romo, like that play that he just made lost that game for them in the playoffs, or to go to the playoffs, or to win the division. And so it didn't matter how many regular season games he won. He's known for choking. Matt Ryan, Matty Ice, his whole nickname was based around being like the best 4th quarter quarterback. He choked in the second half of a Super Bowl with a lead. Has never been the same since, and will always be remembered for choking. Not that his nickname was Matty Ice, and he was legit in the 4th quarter in the regular season. That doesn't matter. And that's what I'm saying. Dak's got to get over that hump of doing it when it counts. Not saying that he can't or he's not capable. He just actually has to fucking do it to be like, I deserve to be one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league. That's why people were so critical when he led the league in picks last year, because he was one of the highest paid quarterbacks. And it's like, and you haven't won anything for us yet. So we're giving you all this money to turn the ball over, and you can't can't take us to a championship game, an NFC championship game. Fuck you. And that's rightfully so. When Cowboys fans were feeling that way, totally justified. So it's just, remember, it's still the same dude, and you have to see him prove it. Like, that's the reason why I'd take Jalen Hurts in a clutch playoff game over Dak Prescott. Because I watched him put up some of the best stats in a Super Bowl, and he made it there. So it's like, I haven't even seen Dak get to that point. So why do I think he could make it that far over a Jalen Hurts or over a Jimmy Garoppolo? If Jimmy was healthy and the team was good and it was like Dak versus Jimmy, I'd be like, Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be hard to beat, man, because these are the games he doesn't lose. Those are the games. It's true, though. Joe Flacco game and that's the same with Pat Mahomes.
Now I know you're off the rails.
No,
So
but
you
it's
would
but
take
that's
Jimmy G over Dak.
I'm talking about in body of work and experience and getting over. That's a big hang up between like a Peyton Manning until he won his Super Bowl. It was what the fuck is Peyton Manning doing? Because everybody else is winning but this asshole. So he can be great in the regular season, but he hasn't won shit. And then he finally won. It's the same with Elway. That's what they hold against Marino. It's the same thing. So I mean, Dak could be one of the best quarterbacks to never win a Super Bowl. If he doesn't win a Super Bowl, that's what he'll be remembered for. And they'll run the highlights of the bad interceptions, and they won't talk about the 13-3 seasons or 22 touchdowns, 1 interception as a rookie. They won't talk about that shit. They'll talk about that he never got it done. If Jalen Hurts makes it to another Super Bowl or doesn't make it and win one, they'll do the same shit about him too. The same shit with Cam Newton. And that's you got to win the fucking game. That's why they don't do it to Russell Wilson, because he made it to 2 and he won 1. He gets a pass. He'll be No, he does though. He'll be remembered for that before he's remembered losing by 70 points. But if the Dolphins lose in the first round, they'll be remembered as a team that had the most receiving yards by a wide receiver in the year and put up 70 points on somebody and then were bounced in the first round. So it's like like that would stick more to Miami if the Broncos make the playoffs. Whatever. Then it's like then Miami has to win. The pressure's there because they did it once. It's just different. All right, well, I'll let y'all go. I'll quit rambling, but I don't like that. You don't get to... no one's saying that Dak's not good. It's just that Dak needs to get the job done.
I didn't say that.
No, you said that he throws one pick and everyone says he's the worst in the league. And no one says that. It's just that he's not the most clutch in the league. So you can't take him playing against bad teams and putting up good stats as Dak Prescott is being clutch. You can't tell me Dak Prescott's clutch. You can tell me he's good. And I'd agree. Well,
I think he wins MVP. Dak wins MVP if he continues playing at this level.
Let's say if Miami beats Dallas, and let's say this, San Francisco, Miami, the Eagles, everybody has the same record, right? And San Francisco's the number 1 seed. Tyreek Hill could win this MVP if he breaks the record. And if they don't like Brock Purdy and let's say Seattle or San Francisco loses 1 or 2 more games, they're out of it. If the Cowboys lose to Miami and Tyreek Hill puts up big stats, Dak's out of it. If the Eagles don't win the division and don't finish number 1, Jalen doesn't get it. Doesn't matter what he does. And that's when someone like Tyreek Hill or that's when Lamar Jackson would get it. Cowboys have to win out, get the number 1 seed, win the division for Dak to get it.
You know who's in the number 1 running Vegas odds right now?
Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
But we got to see it come to fruition and be completed. We just have to see it because they have 3 losses too. So we need to see them get through. It's too close. These margins are way too tight where it could come down to who doesn't win their division or what seed the Eagles or San Francisco falls to, because you can't give Brock Purdy the MVP if they're the number 2 seed or the number 3 seed. They're not going to get. You'll give it to Lamar Jackson, or they'd give it to a 3 seed like a receiver, like a Tyreek Hill, and be like, see, it's not just not like a quarterback award anymore. It's for anybody. See, you guys can't say it's a quarterback award anymore. They could easily do that shit. Easily do that. It's just to shake the narrative and kind of get that, oh, no, see, none of y'all were good enough. And Joey Burrow's out and Pat Mahomes is out. So we're just going to give it to this guy who set a record, all-time record. Never thought it'd be broken. Boom, there you go, Tyreek Hill. And then we would have a guy who choked his fiancée while she was pregnant and he was in college as an MVP. Think about that for a second. Talk about
won't happen.
It couldn't, but it could. The scenario,
lovable Dak, never done wrong.
That's the quality of work. You have to go undefeated, and you have to beat these other teams that have winning record. No, in your last games, and beat these other teams that have winning records more convincingly than you beat Seattle. That's what I'm saying.
That's still a good win. I don't know how you did that was a good win.
But that's more because Seattle gave the game away than because.
How?
they were not. You
We
weren't.
pass rushed all
The
night,
Cowboys,
and
yeah,
then
until the
finally
very
it
end,
came
the
in clutch
Cowboys,
moments.
the Cowboys were not stopping them for shit, and then good drives were being stopped by drop passes or bad penalties, which were self-inflicted, and it put them in
Nerves,
long
baby.
position. No, I'm just saying. So then that put them in a position to be able to be pass rushed and led to bad passes. So I'm not disagreeing that the pass rush was a factor, but the 2 plays previous, where it's like a dropped pass or a dropped touchdown pass almost, there was like 2 dropped touchdown passes by Tyler Lockett. Like smack him in the face, so they didn't even get a field goal, and they're almost in the red zone. Like those plays, those points go a long way in that game. There are multiple chances, and fought back. I'm just saying, we'll see. Defense
Good
is
win.
it was a great win. Your first win against a winning record team that were 6-5. Congrats. It's tough.
41 points. Or how many points did we put up? We put up a lot. 42.
That was 41 to 35, I think. What is
Yeah.
it? One more time before I let you guys go. It was. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, 41-35. All right, you jabronis. I'll let y'all get out of here. I appreciate you being here again. We will meet next week and discuss all of this bullshit.
Hell goody, he better be on next week. Win or lose. Better see his bitch ass.
All right, I'll let him know.
All right, see ya.
Love you, boys. Bye. All right, well, another one down. 37, Cowboys versus Eagles, part 2. We'll see what happens. Fuck the Cowboys. I think this is going to be a good game. I think the Eagles got a chance. Everybody's discounting us, but whatever. Y'all a bunch of fucking dicks. So get the fuck out of here. Take care of yourselves. Be good. Peace.